the ball better. I think he's found his spots, where he can kind of take over. He was outstanding in that Florida State game, which was a loss, but he really put this team on his back.
One of the top guys for Jacksonville in this game, Kevion Nolan, the senior from Alabama.
Yeah, he was all-conference player last year in that Atlantic Sun. Their team goes as he goes, man. It's a team that's had a lot of injuries, guys in and out of the lineup. He has been so solid for them.
Notre Dame's been so tough here at home. They're 21-3 over the last couple of years. Trying to break that losing streak here tonight in this one. Spirited shoot-around in which Coach Bray was urging his players to move the ball in the offensive end, get some more touches early in this one. Missed 3 that time by Starling. Starting 5 for Jacksonville tonight. Davis, Nolan, and Osifo have started every game for the Dolphins this year. Nolan leading the team in scoring with over 14 points a game. On the miss that time. And Starling's pass is intercepted.
Notre Dame starting in a man. They're trying to search for something defensively. They started their first 13 possessions in 2-3 zone against Florida State. They played 2-3, the most in that game they have all season. And interesting, an early turnover by Notre Dame, one of the best in the country at not doing that. Trying to get out and run. Both these tempos are in the 300s nationally in terms of their tempo. They are both very deliberate. They're going to take a lot of that shot clock offensively.
Well, this is interesting. The foul was on Osifo, and he goes right out immediately. And Coach Jordan Mincy has brought in Omar Payne off the bench. As you look at the starting 5 for Notre Dame, same starting 5, all 13 games so far this season. Laszewski is the leading scorer this year right now, averaging over 15 points a game for the Irish.
And Notre Dame's got to get Dane Goodwin going. A miss there. He's 2 of 12 from the field in their last 2. It's been a real tough December for Dane Goodwin.
And again, bad passes here early. No one to go to with that one. Starling gets it back for Cormac Ryan. Words for 3. Can almost kind of tell here early at the pace that we've got for both teams in this game. 2 minutes gone by. Davis. Payne had his hand on it for the moment, got knocked out by Notre Dame. It stays with Jacksonville.
Well, the strength of Jacksonville, and Jordan Mincy was telling this today, I mean, obviously is on the defensive side. All their numbers point to that. I think Jordan Mincy's done a nice job, certainly last season and the early going this year of coaching defense as Payne knocks down that shot there. But they don't want their offense to hurt their defense. They want to be able to control possessions, and it's really what they've done for the bulk of this season.
That's a good point. 13th in the country scoring defense, giving up just under 59 points a game. Laszewski counted with the foul. And Notre Dame's on the board, 2 minutes and 25 seconds in, and finally their first basket.
Nate Laszewski's taken his game to another level. He has played very well. It's been a real strength and an anchor for this Notre Dame team. They don't post him a lot. Last year playing through the post a ton. Through Paul Atkinson, they just haven't done it as much. He's not, Laszewski, not that kind of a player. They've tried to post Dane Goodwin a little bit, just trying to find that ability to play through the block. It was a real strength for them last season.
Yeah, he was the 4th leading scorer for the Irish last year. Now the leading scorer on this year's team. He's 41 of 47 from the free throw line, shooting over 87% as he converts on the 3-point play. Now a nice drive to the hole. Payne in the offensive rebound off the Cook miss, and Payne puts it back up and in. Cook is banged up. Right shoulder underneath the basket for Jacksonville. We're checking Cook, excuse me. Oh, yeah.
Nailed the stanchion there.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow J.J. Starling ended up on Omar Payne, and Payne just said, hey, little man, this is mine.
Cook goes out. 4-3. Jacksonville early going here. 3 minutes gone by first half. Here's Starling. Words to the corner. Cormac Ryan for 3. That's off. Rebounded by Payne. Nolan on a step back 3. Count it.
What a shot. Their team goes as he goes. You know, like we said at the top, an all-conference player last year. He's 23 years old. I mean, just a real high IQ. He's played a lot of basketball.
And a takeaway. Jacksonville. Dylan O'Hearn has it up the court quickly for Powell, and he stepped on the sideline. You know, back to Nolan for a moment. You and I talked to him before the game tonight, and here it is again. You had talked about it. You said, hey, what are you working on? He said, patience and decision-making. Nice step back 3 on that one. Wirtz inside Goodwin.
And there's that post up, you know, for Goodwin. It's nice to get him a layup and a really nice job carving out his space. Drove the defender well out of the lane. Left himself a very nice angle. And here's that 2-3 zone.
O'Hearn for 3. And rebound Starling. Good movement here by the Irish. Starling's got it. Krzyzewski. Shot clock is down to 5. Krzyzewski for 3. And Goodwin fighting for it. Saves it from going out. And right to Wirtz.
Obviously a fantastic save, and then a nice job by Wirtz. You know, the defense a little unsettled. Everybody's staring at the save, and Wirtz just went downhill.
That worked out for him. Here's O'Hearn inside. Back to Powell. Pulls up. Air ball, and Payne knocks it out of bounds. Notre Dame ball when we come back.
Good save and finish on one end. And how about this step back? Kevion Nolan. Little dance step. Give me 3.
Years in a row that, you know, he did not go home for Christmas. They spend the time here, and he says he feels like it's very beneficial.
Yeah, he and I would share a different opinion on that. No, it's tough, man. I mean, he had a very positive attitude about it, and it's kind of something that Mike Bray has done. They played, you know, right after Christmas last year, had to go on the road. This one at home, but but Mike Bray does it up. You know, like he was saying, brings them over to the house and does the whole thing, and you can kind of keep a rhythm. You know, you keep a rhythm as a team, and this is a team that certainly needs to figure itself out on both ends of the floor.
And Cormac Ryan, who's got the ball right now, he's so dialed in, right? You know, to him, he was like, yeah, we need 2 days to prepare for a game, practices. That's a good thing. Like, he's a basketball guy. I mean, he just wants to go at it day in and day out. Powell backing his way in for Jacksonville. Nice play for Jossie Powell.
You know, and that play typifies a short Notre Dame rotation. They stay out of foul trouble, and you have to. But it's one of the reasons their interior defense has been kind of soft. I mean, that just, Powell just backs that in there.
Ryan misses on the 3, and it's rebounded by Nolan. For Payne, nice feed.
You know, that stretch of Syracuse, Marquette, Georgia, all losses for Notre Dame. They're outscored by 62 points in the paint. They don't have, that interior rim protector type of guy, and they just haven't been able to play or haven't been as physical on the perimeter on drives. And part of it is, again, trying to stay out of foul trouble.
Goodwin to the hole, and he got rejected inside. Part of that was Payne there in the interior for Jacksonville on the other end. And then Wirtz gets a block on Jordan Davis, and now a 3-ball for Nolan, rebounded by Wirtz. Starling, tough shot, stays with it. And he gets it back out. Goodwin for three. Not falling yet for Notre Dame. 0 for 7, Chris, on three-pointers here thus far. Traveling violation. Got a women's basketball doubleheader coming up for you on Thursday. Number 5 Notre Dame on the women's side, and Coral Gables will take on Miami at 6 Eastern. That's going to be followed up by Duke and number 6 NC State at 8 o'clock. Both games right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app coming up on Thursday.
Notre Dame, a 2-point loss to Maryland away from being undefeated. Got a big-time road win at Virginia Tech to open league play. What a job Niele Ivy's done.
Here's Wirtz up top for Cormac Ryan. On the kick out, Marcus Hammond for three. We got Nolan. Overall, the Irish have missed their last 7 shots. Jacksonville not in a hurry, right? Slow and steady here on the offensive end.
No, I mean, we said that at the top. I mean, they play at one of the slowest tempos in the country. And against the zone, they're going to be even slower.
Chris kind of bearing out true to form so far on this first half here.
Yeah, defense is how Jordan Mincy's wanted to build his program. You know, they err on the side of aggressive in their closeouts, with their ball pressure, in ball screens. You know, it's interesting, Jordan Mincy saying to his team today, our closeouts tonight have to be elite. Notre Dame, a team that shoots a lot of threes. They have certainly done that in the early going here. And Jacksonville doing a nice job closing out.
Nolan for three. And here come the Irish. We're 0 for 8 themselves from three-point range. Jacksonville 1 for 4 here in the early going. About a 3-minute and 45-second scoring drought so far here for Notre Dame as they trail by 4. Then Alan Lubin in for the first time tonight, number 2. Starling rejected. He wanted goaltending. Not there. Nice play by Osai Osifo in the block for Jacksonville. And a wide open 3, and O'Hearn drains it.
I mean, if you can't guard the ball, you're going to end up in a closeout drill. And it just a baseline drive breaks down the defense.
Jacksonville is on a 7-0 run here. Lubin dumps it inside Leszewski, and he scores it.
You know, the thing, too, about Jacksonville is they are a really unselfish team. I mean, they average 16 assists a game, and part of it is you got a lot of secure guys. It's an old team. They rely on one another.
Good movement here for them on the offensive end. Nolan works it in. And Osifo was fighting for it for the Dolphins, but here comes Cormac Ryan. Back inside, Van Allen Lubin. Already halfway through this first half. Ryan tried to force it inside, and it's intercepted.
Another really good defensive possession. Plugging gaps, not allowing penetration, and then covering down on that pass attempt.
Jossie Powell for 3. That's not there. Rebound Hammond. Hammond pulls up. Got the roll.
It's a guy they need to get going. You know, led Niagara in scoring last year. Hurt his MCL before the start of the season, and he just hasn't really gotten comfortable. But he's a veteran guy that can help them.
Yeah, Coach Bright trying to work him into the mix. Only played 12 minutes in the last game. He missed the first 7 games of the season. As you said, Chris, with that MCL sprain, he needs some support from off the bench. Nice block inside as Davis went in. Then Alan Lubin got it out to Starling. Hammond's calling for it again. Cormac Ryan for three. And rebounded by Jordan Davis. Notre Dame 0 for 9 from three-point range. And they make you work on defense. You get frustrated from some of the offense, right? Chris not scoring, and then you got to go back. You got to play defense for 25 seconds. Leszewski got it knocked out of his hands. Nolan gets a steal. And that's intercepted Cormac Ryan. He was looking for the streaking Dylan O'Hearn. And it's Hammond that takes advantage of it for Notre Dame.
Turnovers, not something that either of these teams can afford, particularly with how low possession this game is going to be.
Crowd trying to get into it a little bit here. It's a quick little 6-0 run now by the Irish. And pulling up on the floater, Davis. And that stops a 3+ minute scoring drought for Jacksonville as they lead by 3. Hammond, foul, count it.
Got to get Marcus Hammond going if you're Mike Bray and Notre Dame. He is dynamic when he gets it into that left hand. Nice job refusing that ball screen, coming back to that strong left hand with a little kiss for Bill Raftery.
Up by 1 here over Notre Dame, and they've been doing this a lot throughout the season with a host of injuries. Guys in and out of the lineup. They've had a bunch of guys missing some time, and this guy, Mike Marsh, has missed his 3rd straight game here. How much of a factor is that tonight for the Dolphins, Chris, the 6'10" junior out of the lineup?
Well, and he's 240 pounds. I mean, it's a big deal, you know, and I think part of Jordan Mincy, it's like we start conference play this week. Do we, you know, you give him another day to rest? So I think that was the calculation, but, you know, he certainly would have fit in this game against the Notre Dame that, you know, is a little bit light up front in terms of its interior.
Yeah, there was some discussion. He wanted to go. He wanted to play, but they want to give him a little bit more rest. That shoulder injury he suffered in the UNCW game 4 games ago. Here's Nolan for 3. That's out of bounds to Notre Dame.
The other thing, too, Mike, is that Atlantic Sun is going to be competitive. It is a deep league. I mean, FGCU already beat USC earlier in the year. Liberty was picked to win that league. North Alabama just beat Ole Miss. I think they were picked 2nd to last in the A-Sun, so it's a deep league.
Well, this team went to the title game last year against Bellarmine, and here's Goodwin for 3. That's no good. Rebound by Nolan. It was an awesome job done by Jordan Mincy in his first season. He went to the title game for the first time since 2009. We're number 2 seed. They were picked 10th out of 12 to start the year. It shows the job that coach and his staff did as they turn it over as Payne was out of bounds. At their first undefeated season at home, 15-0, 72-73. '21 wins last year. Trying to continue to follow it up this season as well. They lead here by 1. Tip ball, Starling's got it for 3 in the lead. And Notre Dame still over from the 3-point line in this first half thus far. 0 for 11.
Well, they've had good looks. You know, that one there was tough off of the dribble, but they've had good looks. They've got to get Dane Goodwin going. You know, he came into this game 2 of 12 in their last 2. He's now 1 of 5 in this game. I mean, it's been a real struggle for Dane Goodwin.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I mean, he played 37 minutes in the last game. He only had 2 points. 2 points, 3 boards. And all but 3 minutes of action. Nolan, wild one. Payne tips it, but right to Starling for Notre Dame. Good job by Jacksonville getting back. Hammond for 3.
said you agree with me 100%. I'll take 90, maybe 85. I mean, you don't have to agree the whole 100, all right?
That's a good point. Nothing's really 100%, right? Missing on the jumper. That was Deans. Sire Deans. Another offensive rebound here for the Dolphins. That's going the other way. Moving screen on Payne. It's going to be his second.
You know, these two rotating bigs, Payne going to the bench, and then Osai Osifo coming in. Both played at Florida for Mike White. They were recruited by Jordan Mincy, who was an assistant for Mike White there. So the connection when Jordan Mincy had to start hitting that transfer portal, that connection was there.
Here's Goodwin, and he hits Notre Dame's first three of the night. And to your point, maybe that'll get him going. Irish by 2 now with 4:40 to play in the first half. Here's Osifo. No, offensive foul. And now he's got 2. So the two big guys, as you were talking about, Payne and Osifo, each have 2 personals.
And a really good take by Nate Leshevsky. You know, he's kind of on that left side of Osifo, but when Osifo leans in and kind of go ahead.
No, sorry. Continue. Here's Hammond, who hits a 3. Timeout, Jacksonville. Back in Notre Dame here, it's 21-16. Now the Irish in front. And they force 8 turnovers a game. That's it. Not a great mark in the country, of course, but tonight already 8 so far for Jacksonville.
Yeah, and it's breathed a little life into Notre Dame's offense, and you know, particularly in a game that's, like we've said, is going to be very low possession. 8 turnovers and a half with still 4 minutes to go is not sustainable if you're Jacksonville.
Pulling up at the jumper, no good by Davis, and it's tracked down by Wirtz for Notre Dame. We saw a shot. The staff, Anthony Solomon, on the bench for Coach Bray at Notre Dame in his 3rd stint back here, has been huge, helping the Irish as Goodwin gets it for Hammond. Wirtz, 5 to shoot. Starling, offensive.
You know, when Notre Dame's offense bogs down, there ends up being a lot of standing and more dribbling than we're used to from Notre Dame teams. This is not as good a passing team as that Notre Dame team was last season. You know, they ran their offense last year a little bit harder, a little bit sharper. The ball moved better, and you could play through the post with Paul Atkinson. You had a pro in Blake Wesley, and I thought Prentice Hubb's toughness on both ends of the floor. You know, we talked a lot about who stayed for Notre Dame. Those 3 guys, losing those 3 guys, I think they've spent the first part of this year trying to find those replacements.
Davis knocks down a jumper for Jacksonville. Well, and you and I saw it during shoot-around today. They were trying to work on moving the ball on the offensive end and getting some more touches. Hammond.
Yeah, and I think Mike Bray's trying to get some movement with that. You know, he's got some continuity. They run that ball screen continuity. He's got some open stuff that he's tried to run, but a lot of times it boils down to like that last possession. You move the ball, couple reversals, and then, hey, I'm open. Why don't I jack a 3?
Nolan misses. You just kind of see both teams retreating to get back on the defensive end. Goodwin stops. Coming up on 2 minutes left in this first half. 2-point Irish advantage. Cormac Ryan. And rebound by Powell. Both teams in the low 30% shooting, 32% for Jacksonville, and pretty much the same thing, Notre Dame, 32.1% in this first half. Now 4 to shoot for the Dolphins. Davis got it off in time, but an air ball violation.
I mean, you got to hit Osifo. He was open twice. He was open on the roll, and then he was open on the block.
You'll be doing this game, Chris, on Friday, North Carolina, Pittsburgh. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think Pittsburgh's been a real interesting story in the early part of this season. I mean, they can really shoot the three. And then, of course, Carolina off of 2 really good wins. You know, Pitt in Chapel Hill last year was kind of the low point for the Tar Heels. So it'll be an interesting game. I like the noon starts, Mike. I like the noon starts.
Well, you and I did that Pittsburgh win at Syracuse last week. As Osifo misses, they held on. They were up by 20 in that game. Came down to the end. Yeah, you need the noon starts these days with the flight travels and issues. You got to have options.
I'm not flying Southwest, so that's the good news.
Yeah, please don't do that right now. Good one. Scooping runner not there as he crashes into the stanchion. 5-on-4 for the time being for Jacksonville. And O'Hearn trying to take advantage of it, misses on the 3. Well, don't be late arriving to the Joyce Center for this game, or you would have missed much of this first half because we're flying through it here. 21.6 seconds remaining. Irish by 2. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Back in Notre Dame, 2-point lead for the Irish here. 21.6 seconds to go.
You're talking about the pace. I started checking flights during the break. Could I get out of here tonight at the rate this one is flying by?
Right. You get a direct back to Charlotte from here.
Did the patrons pay a full ticket for this game over in an hour and 20 minutes? Five seconds left.
Cormac Ryan on the kick. Leszewski for 3. Not there. That's how the first half's going to end up. That's right, 21-19.
Low possession, Mike. Sell it that way. Low possession.
Notre Dame, hey, trying to break out of a 3-game losing skid. They're up by 2 at the break.
Leading scorers, if you're Mike Bray, 0 for 10 in that first half.
They made 4 of 5 over a 3-minute and 27-second stretch. But then outside of that, they're 5 for 26 in this game. Jacksonville, conversely, as they start here with the ball in the second half, is 5 for 10 early, and then they hit 3 of their last 17. That's going to be an offensive.
I mean, that's twice now he's been called for charges where, look, there's driving strong, and then there's driving irresponsibly. And I think on both of those, that one in particular, I mean, it's just foolish.
And this happened to him early because he picked up an early foul and went right out of the game like less than a minute in. And then now here in the second half, he picks up a foul. He's got 3. He goes right to the bench. That's Osai Osifo, who's out now for Jacksonville. Good one. Back to Ryan for 3. Still can't get into the scoring column. Now it's Omar Payne. Battling, got the hook.
You know, you wonder where the offense for Jacksonville with Kevion Nolan, their leading scorer, struggling, where it's going to come from. Nice post move there by Payne. Good catch on the block for him.
I mean, Payne's saying, hey, I'm shooting well. I'm 4 for 4 from the field with 8 points. Here's Starling, and he knocks down a 3. Davis. It's a 2 right back for Jacksonville. 1-point game.
Davis in his 6th college season. He's 24 years old. Started at Dayton, then ended up at Middle Tennessee.
Ryan again in and out on the 3-ball. It's an 0-for-7 night, but he's capable, as we all know, of getting hot, scoring in bunches, just not having his way so far in this game here. Here's Starling. Good one on a spin. Wirtz fights for it, and it's recovered by Jordan Davis for the Dolphins. Stripped away by Goodwin. On the drive that time by Powell. And then Starling got it knocked away. Davis, nice feed to the cutting Powell for 2, and Jacksonville's back in front.
Yeah, I think for both these teams, turnovers are kryptonite because the defense in the half court has been fine against two offenses that are struggling. Those giveaways are leading to runouts.
Leshevsky hands off. Now gets it back. Shot clock down to 5 once again. Leshevsky in and out on the 3. And no one seems to be entirely interested in trying to get some offensive rebounds in this game. Treating right back to the defensive end. Davis. Boxed out by Leshevsky.
The turnovers have been the story. They really have. I mean, just, driving into traffic, active hands by Jacksonville. And then Jossie Powell in the open floor. Leshevsky kind of jogging back there.
We were kind of talking about this with me earlier. It's like games even before and after the Christmas break, right? It's tough. It can go either way, right?
Yeah, it's hard to figure out. Dane Goodwin, it's good to see a couple go in for him. He had such a really good start to last year. And it's just been a struggle, particularly this month of December for him.
Much better outing here tonight, though, so far. 8 points. 3 of 9 shooting. Oh, nice drive here from Dylan O'Hearn for Jacksonville. He's got 5 points tonight. We're tied at 27. Almost 5 minutes gone by already in this second half. Goodwin. 3-ball Hammond. And he's led all scorers tonight. He's got 12 points. That's his second 3 of the night.
And those are those Notre Dame threes. Nice drive there by Goodwin. Good pitch out to Hammond, who stepped in with confidence.
Nolan, nice.
Nice job getting to the middle of that zone. Notre Dame, again, falling back into that 2-3 zone. You got the freshman, then Alan Lubin in the middle there, just a little late on that contest.
Jacksonville's 5 of 7 here in the second half. Right inside. Ben Alan Lubin, he's blocked in the interior by Payne, and now we got a big foul here called. And boy, Nolan got hit hard in the face by Leshevsky. Still down, trying to recover from that shot. 5.5 gone by in the second half. Irish by 1. We'll be back. There, Chris just took a huge shot from Leshevsky, and then he landed kind of on that left wrist.
Yeah. Trying to brace himself, then went over there and got it taped up. They're going to need him, man. he can really go, can really score. Had just hit a bucket, too, against that 2-3 zone, coming off a game against ULM. He had 19 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists. It was fantastic in their win over ULM before the break.
Yeah, I mean, you see the tough shooting night tonight, but he's got 8 rebounds, got a couple assists. Again, like you were saying, he does it in other areas. %38 shooting for Jacksonville, 30% for Notre Dame. Nolan now tries to go up top for Payne. There's going to be a foul. Payne was fouled underneath. It's going against Marcus Hammond for Notre Dame, his first, only the second team foul in this half. They only had 2 fouls in the whole first half. Nolan runs into a roadblock. Powell, nice crossover. Count it.
It was a nice early stand by Cormac Ryan on Nolan. And then, Jossie Powell from about 35 feet out, just a drive to finish. Got to be better on the ball. You got to have better help behind.
Jacksonville goes back in front. Lubin, and that's in and out. Three ball, no one. Count it. Playing inspired here after getting hit in the face, hurt his left wrist. Big three-pointer. Jacksonville's made their last 4. They lead it 34-30. Hammond, really the only one with a hot hand tonight.
He really is. He can score. As we said, led Niagara last year in scoring. They had high hopes for him coming into this season.
Take away, Hammond. For Ryan, foul, count the basket. That gets Cormac Ryan into the scoring column. Notre Dame back in front. Chance for the three-point play.
And another turnover leading to that run out. And as you said, maybe this gets Cormac Ryan going. He has been superb in the month of December, averaging 16 points a game, shooting 62% from 3. He's as sharp as any player in this league you could talk to. He's 24 years old. He's in business school here at Notre Dame. Decided to come back for another year. Just a delightful guy to talk to. Really intelligent, thoughtful, considers questions you ask him. I'm a big fan of Cormac Ryan.
Yeah, we had a nice conversation with him earlier before this game tonight. Dialed in. He's not going to be phased. And a big bucket there to put the Irish in front. Now it's Nolan. Alley-oop, Payne throwing it down. Tie game.
Well, they got it. They tried to get the lob out of the timeout. And Notre Dame ended up fouling Payne on it. Good execution there.
He is 5 for 5 in this game. Plays like that. No doubt. 6 boards as well for Payne. Here's Ryan for 3. See, there you go.
I believe the mathematicians call it a correction to the mean. It was bound to happen for Cormac Ryan. And it's, again, as we say, for shooters, you see the ball go in on a layup or a free throw, you can start to see a bigger basket.
3 the old-fashioned way, then a 3 from behind on the line, and he's got 6 points. Here's Hammond. Ryan again, thought about it. Starling to the hole.
And that's the dimension that they need. They don't have a lot of guys who can put it on the ground. Certainly nobody like J.J. Starling.
Rest of the team's getting energized too as well. 5-point Notre Dame advantage here. Largest lead. Rebound Leshevsky. Then Alan Lubin. Yeah, he's upset with himself. Had an easy one there.
He's going to be a good player, though. I like Van Allen Lubin. And to be honest with you, they're a better defensive team when he's on the floor. Good size, very good athlete.
He's their first off the bench, the true freshman out of Orlando, Florida, 6'8", 226. Back to Payne here for Jacksonville. No, Leszewski the rebound. Starling, no look pass. Van Allen Lubin, look out. Jordan Mincy wants a timeout. Largest lead of the night for Notre Dame at 7.
Creating for others. You know, and coming off a year where Mike Bray's had really 2 consecutive guys who are one and done. Blake Wesley last year and Starling this year. It's interesting to sort of make the comparison of when the light came on. It was around this time last year for Blake Wesley, and you can start to really see it with J.J. Starling as he plays more and more with these guys around him.
Yeah, I'm wondering how it's going to go when conference play really kicks into high gear. You see the development of him as the season progresses. Powell missing on the jumper. O'Hearn with the offensive rebound for Jacksonville. Back to Powell. They need this. No. O'Hearn again. And Leszewski clears it out. You mentioned Starling, Chris. He had no points in the first half. 5 here in the second half with 2 assists as well. 3 total assists for the game. And then Cormac Ryan, who started 0 for 7, got a bucket and a foul, converted, and then he hit a 3. Here's Hammond.
Hammond is really good at creating that space for a shot. It's one of the reasons he was such a dynamic scorer last year for Greg Paulus at Niagara.
Nolan, guarded by Wirtz. It's up a 3, it's short. Leszewski, another rebound. 7 boards now to lead Notre Dame in that department tonight. Irish had only 21 points in the first half. They had 22 points throughout the first 9 minutes and 39 seconds here in the second half. Goodwin. Wow, what a take and a finish.
This is where they can start, Notre Dame can start to grind you down, because a 9-point lead in a game like this is really about 15. And so Notre Dame goes on, I think it's a 9-0 run to stretch this thing.
And that's a point well taken. When you're a team that plays slow down type of basketball, right? You get into a deficit like this, it's hard to come back from. Timeout on the court. 8:22 remaining. The Irish have pushed the lead up to 9. Last year, you want to see him get going? Well, he has here tonight.
Yeah, only his 6th game of the year because of that MCL injury before the season started. Had 4 threes in the 5 games coming in. He's got 3 tonight. He's 3 of 6. Really ignited their offense at the end of the first half and has kept it going here. He's one of those names Mike Bray mentioned earlier today, just kind of shaking his head saying, we got to get Marcus Hammond going.
Return of the Mark. And not to be confused with return of the Mac, which could have been another Spatola singing opportunity, maybe later on in the broadcast.
Well, you never know.
We'll see.
The night is still young, although we're moving through this game at a rapid pace.
Yeah, not a lot of time left here for you, my friend. 8:04 remaining. Here's Hammond. Tonight, 6 of 10, 15 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, 19 minutes of action. As the Irish lead it by 9 here, the foul was on Osifo. That's the 4th for him for Jacksonville. And he has since gone out. Payne's back in. Wirtz, haven't heard too much from him tonight, missing on the 3 there. Rebound pulled in by Powell. Wirtz is 1 for 4 with 2 points. Powell, strong drive. Got it.
Very strong. Seen that a couple of times tonight, just using that body.
That ends nearly a 5-minute scoring drought for Jacksonville. And 1 for their last 8. Goodwin backing his way in on Powell, has the advantage and scores. This is Neesmith for Davis. Out of bounds on the sideline. Still a 9-point game in favor of the Irish here. Just 6:42.
So the orange puns start flying in the Tennessee-Clemson game. You are looking live at an orange fest here in Miami.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we got the show coming up tomorrow, and then
Yes,
heading back out.
You caught the plug?
Yes. Ready to rock here from South Bend. Wirtz, three-pointer. Leszewski had a hand on it. Oh, and it got knocked out the last minute by Ahern for Jacksonville.
That's another 20 seconds on that shot clock. You know, again, in a game, 9-point lead. It's killer not to come down with a defensive rebound.
Wirtz to the hole this time. And it's only his 4th point of the night. 2 of 6 from the field, but he needed that. Notre Dame's up double digits now for the first time tonight. And a foul on Starling as Nolan tried to take it in. Thoughts on maybe with Jacksonville trying to create and draw some contact a little bit more right in this game, Chris? I mean, they haven't even got to the free throw line, if you can imagine that.
Yeah, Notre Dame's done a much better job, I think, in the second half guarding the ball. You know, they've guarded their matchup. And there haven't been as many of those straight line drives we saw in the first half, Mike. And that's how Notre Dame plays. They play without fouling.
There you go, to your point. And it was a block by Goodwin. Starling on the break. Starling! The taps! Starling tracks it down somehow.
You'd love to see him just go up and dunk that.
Yeah.
Just go up to just pound that thing through the rim.
That's what I thought was going to happen. Ryan. Back to Goodwin. Shot clock. And he's bailed out by Dylan O'Hearn with 2 on the clock. First on him. It was crazy. I mean, you said it. He played great defense without fouling. He held him on the baseline, then came away with a block, started a break. That's what they do. .20 on the shot clock. Goodwin off the inbounds. Powell. And he will head to the line. And that'll be the first time tonight that Jacksonville will be shooting free throws in this game.
Jossie Powell's he's been aggressive tonight. You know, a guy who's been very efficient. Started his career at Division II. He was at Davis and Elkins College. A guy who's fit in well in this lineup for Jordan Mincy. Really solid, knows who he is, takes good shots. He's played well tonight.
Fouls on Van Allen Lubin for Notre Dame, his first. And one more coming up for Perk. So Powell goes 2 for 2. He's got 10 points. Along with Payne, the only Jacksonville players in double figures in scoring in this game with just 5 minutes to go. Starling, that shows his athleticism. That's impressive. Off the hands of Payne, and Wirtz has it. Hammond. Three of 7 from three-point range now for him tonight. Nolan gets a step on Ryan, and Cormac Ryan fouls him from behind.
Yeah, on the other end, I think if you're Mike Bray, you would have like a few more seconds taken off of that shot clock. You know, Hammond has played so well tonight, so you don't necessarily want to stifle that.
Yeah, Coach Bray had told us earlier today that sometimes he feels his guys are a little too serious, you know, out there. I mean, he said, hey, just let's breathe, let's relax. It's all right. You know, they're on this little 3-game losing skid, but the Marquette loss, he said they played better at Georgia. Lost there, then at Florida State, a 1-point loss. So, I mean, think about this. With the Florida State 1-point loss and the Syracuse 1-point loss, a bucket or two here and there, and they're 9-3 and 2-0 in the ACC. So things look drastically different. So no real reason for major concern, but they got to get this one tonight.
Well, yeah, I agree with that to a point. I also, the Marquette game was not a good look. And Mike Bray said that today. He said a game like that can take a lot out of you. The Georgia game, where I think he felt like they played better, they still lost by 15. So I'm with you. But there's a lot of room for growth, I think, with this Notre Dame team.
Under 4 minutes to go in this contest. Starling, look at that crossover move. And a foul. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in this one. Notre Dame by 12. These teams here, Chris, even on the court for like a minute, they're standing around. They're like, come on, get back on the break. We want to keep going. We want to finish this thing in like an hour and 32 minutes. Like, hang on, guys. We'll be back. And here we are with Starling at the line, trying to cap off the three-point play. Can't do it. Fast-moving affair. Low scoring at the halftime. It was 21-19 Notre Dame. Now it's up to a 12-point lead. Largest of the night. Powell. For Davis. Can't get the three, and it's tracked down by Hammond.
Yeah, Notre Dame's been much better in their man-to-man in the second half. Not as much zone. Certainly not as much zone as they played against Florida State.
Jacksonville 1 for 5 from three-point range in the second frame. Conversely, Notre Dame's hit 5 of 11 after they started 2 of 16. Starling. There's Nolan working on Goodwin. It's too strong. You were saying it earlier. Notre Dame should be in no hurry here. Use up some shot clock and trying to dwindle this thing down.
Well, that's why we knew when it got to 9 and there was an extra possession that Nate Laszewski bought his team that increased it to 11. And once you got in the vice grip of this Notre Dame pace, Jacksonville, particularly at their pace, they're just not a team that's equipped to come back.
Words on that last bucket, and he's got 6. And we've got just 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. The Irish lead is up to 14. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Thanks, hopefully, for you and your family as you battle through this. Thinking of you, and thanks for watching tonight.
Yeah, well said, Mike. I really enjoyed our interactions today with Jordan Mincy. You know, I had met him a couple times doing Florida games back when he was an assistant for Mike White. But you could tell today he's got a vision for this program, and he's got really such great pride in Jacksonville. He's talking about all the great things the school is doing, the athletic department.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's as Starling scores it. Yeah, not just the basketball program, all that their whole administration is doing right now, getting behind him. And think about it. After the great year last year, he just got a contract extension to 2030-31 season. So that kind of shows what they think of Mincy in the early going of his young coaching career at Jacksonville.
It's not easy, coaching at a program, at a mid-major anywhere. There are a lot of great coaches at mid-majors, and the problem with the transfer portal right now in college basketball is you could get a guy in, you could make him better, and he's not going to stay there. And the way that Jordan Mincy's had to go out and build this program, I mean, all of these guys are basically transfers. And it's just a tough time to be a mid-major coach in college basketball because it's very hard to hang on to players.
Is there a thought or something that you have that you've thought about over the time that could help that? Is there a rule or something where you can do it once or you got to stay for so long? I mean, I don't know. What were you?
No, I mean they have instituted that rule where you can do it once. You know, there's nobody in charge. I mean, this is a much longer conversation, but I mean, there's nobody in charge. There's nobody. So even if you have transferred once, guys have been allowed to do it again multiple times. You know, we have a new head of the NCAA, which is great, and I like the hire. But until we know what the structure and what the NCAA's role is going to be, it's hard to really say what this thing should look like. But it's hard. The portal has made life very hard for these mid-major coaches.
Well, over the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, just think about everything we've gone through and all these coaches have gone through COVID, transfer portal, and NIL. Like, let's double dribble going the other way. I mean, that's a lot of change in a short amount of time.
And a lot of it for the better. I mean, you know, a lot of it's stuff that needed to change, but I think we're trying to wrap our heads around exactly how this thing is going to function. And it's not easy.
No. You had talked about a couple of the Florida transfers, and one of them there with Osai Osifo, number 15 for Jacksonville, who we caught up with earlier, and he said that, you know, he was excited to come here. He wanted a place where he was able to be able to contribute more and lead more, and he has that opportunity here. And spending that time with Mincy when he was at Florida, that certainly helps the cause. He knows what he's going to get. Wade takes it in for Notre Dame. It's tipped up and in by Matt Zona for his first points of the season. And you saw the graphic there a moment ago about what Jacksonville's done when holding opponents under 60 points and how successful they've been. It's just that they weren't able to put up the numbers offensively tonight. Not going to win many games with just 43, obviously. And Notre Dame's going to go to 22-3 at home since the start of 2021-22. The crowd going to rise to their feet here as they've outscored Jacksonville 29-9 in the final 13 and a half minutes. And the last time Notre Dame won a game when scoring under 60 points was back on January 3rd, 2018. Well, they do it tonight. 59-43, the final over Jacksonville, and they snap a 3-game losing skid.
Well, it's good to get in the win column if you're Notre Dame. I thought they played a much better second half. They've got a big one here coming up this week here in the Joyce Center against Miami.